Have you ever found yourself standing at the edge of your own life, quietly wondering why everything feels just a little too small for the dreams that live inside you? As if the world you walk through each day, this structured, busy, predictable world, wasn't made to hold the vastness of your spirit, the depth of your desires, or the unspoken longings that rise up from your soul. Have you ever had the feeling that there must be more to who you are, more to this life, more to reality itself? If so, you are not alone. Many people go through life asleep to their own potential, unaware that within them exists a power far greater than they've been told. A quiet, radiant force capable of not only shaping their personal experiences, but of subtly bending the very threads of reality itself. All around you, whether you realize it or not, is a living, breathing energy field. It isn't something made up or imaginary. It is real, it is invisible, but it is present. It moves through nature, through people, through space, and most importantly, through you. This field is intelligent, responsive, vibrant. Within it lies the key to your personal growth, your spiritual awakening, and your creative power. This is not just a mystical belief passed down in whispered circles. It is a timeless truth, one that the ancients knew intimately, long before modern science began to catch up. But let's take a step back. Have you ever walked into a room and felt something you couldn't explain? A heaviness in the air, or a strange feeling in your chest? Or maybe you've spent time with someone and walked away feeling completely exhausted, as if your very energy had been drained without a word spoken. And then there are the magical days, those rare, beautiful moments when life seems to flow effortlessly. When everything clicks, you're aligned, inspired, at ease. These are not random coincidences. They are echoes of the energy field around you, either harmonizing or clashing with your own. You are not separate from this field. You are part of it. It responds to your emotions, your thoughts, your presence. Let's look at what history has to say about all this. Long before we had words like frequency or vibration, ancient philosophers and mystics were already walking this path. Take Pythagoras, the legendary Greek mathematician and philosopher. To him, the universe wasn't a cold, mechanical system. It was a symphony. He believed all things were held together by harmony and magnetism, that a sacred geometry underpinned creation itself. Centuries later, during the Renaissance and into the 1600s, groups like the Rosicrucians and Hermetic philosophers picked up this thread. They spoke of magnetism and spiritual energy not as superstition, but as divine forces, keys to understanding the deeper structure of nature and spirit. Then came Franz Anton Mesmer in the 18th century. He proposed something radical for his time, that a natural, invisible fluid connected all living beings. He called it animal magnetism. Later, this idea evolved into what we now call mesmerism. He believed that by directing this subtle force, we could restore health, awaken vitality, and realign a person's emotional or spiritual balance. Fast forward again, and we meet a profound voice in modern esotericism, Manly P. Hall. Hall believed that the entire cosmos is interwoven by currents of invisible energy, and that human beings are not only receivers of this force, but directors of it. He didn't teach that this was a gift for a select few. He insisted that every single person carries within them the potential to tap into this sacred field. But unlocking it requires more than curiosity. It demands character, humility, and integrity. This power, he said, must be used wisely. So the question becomes, how do we begin? It starts not with some grand ritual, but with something beautifully simple. Awareness, becoming present, learning to notice, and then deepening that awareness through daily practice, through meditation, breathwork, and intention. If you want to try, begin like this. Find a quiet space. Sit comfortably. Close your eyes. Now imagine a gentle light glowing from the center of your chest. With every breath, let it expand. Let it pulse and move as if it were alive. This light is your life force, your energy. And just like a musician plays an instrument, your focus and emotion shape the way it flows. Breath is the bridge between body and spirit, between thought and form. Each slow, steady inhale and exhale realigns you, clears the clutter, and opens you to the field around you. Hall taught that breath purifies the subtle body, clearing the way for intention and energy to move freely. Through this, you begin to sense what most people overlook, begin to feel truth, to sense presence, to direct energy with grace and care. And as your awareness deepens, something remarkable happens. You begin to feel the energy of others, not in theory, but in your bones. You'll sense the lift when you're around someone joyful, and the drain when you're near someone carrying unresolved pain. That is not your imagination. It is energy in motion. You begin to see that energy is always seeking equilibrium. And when your energy is high, rooted in gratitude, compassion, and peace, you become an anchor, a stabilizing presence, beacon. You become the one who shifts the room, the one who radiates calm, the one who heals without a word. Because healing doesn't always come through grand gestures. Sometimes it arrives in the quietest ways, through a touch, a smile, a kind word, even a silent, heartfelt intention. Hall believed, and many healers agree, that a trained mind and awakened heart can send energy across time and space. This is why some people leave you feeling renewed, while others leave you depleted. It is not personal. It is energetic. And here's the good news. When you live with awareness, your energy becomes your protection. It becomes your gift to others. It becomes your signature in the field. Become a tuning fork for peace, a lighthouse for those adrift, a mirror that reflects the potential in others. Most importantly, you begin to shape your life, moment by moment, from the inside out. Because here is the truth that ancient mystics, modern metaphysicians, and even today's neuroscientists agree on. What you believe, you begin to perceive. What you feel, you begin to attract. What you imagine, you begin to create. You don't see reality as it is. You see it as you are. Two people can experience the same situation and walk away with entirely different realities. Why? Because their inner worlds are not the same. So tonight, just before you drift into sleep, give yourself this gift. Turn off your distractions. Take a few deep breaths. Begin to visualize the life that your soul longs for. Don't just see it, feel it. Let your senses awaken within the vision. What does it smell like? Sound like? Feel like to wake up in that life? What kind of peace lives in your heart? How do people respond to your energy? Let that image, that feeling, sink deep into your subconscious. Because while you sleep, your mind continues the work. Even just a few minutes of focused visualization every day can create ripple effects that transform everything. And now a final thought. Modern science, especially in the fields of neuroscience and quantum physics, is beginning to confirm what the ancients always knew. Your brain is not fixed. It can heal. It can evolve. It can rewire itself based on what you focus on and how you feel. You are not stuck. You are not broken. You are becoming. And perhaps most mysteriously of all, some spiritual traditions believe there is a part of the brain that acts as a divine receiver, a place where God whispers to the soul. It is quiet, subtle, sacred. In our next journey together, we will explore that very mystery. But for now, if something in these words stirred something in you, even just a flicker of recognition, leave a comment and say, "It made sense to me," because sometimes that's all it takes to begin.